So that was great. And then I'd finished my PhD in '06, as I said, and the opportunity came up to do a sabbatical for 6 months in Newcastle with my colleague Lynn Rochester, whom I'd had an association with since her days at AUT, so sort of over the past 6 or 7 years, and she had been one of my PhD supervisors. So the opportunity came up to go to Oxford, to go to Newcastle, so Wattie and I headed over there for 6 months, and I worked with Lynn and had a fantastic opportunity working on different projects and extending my own research focus away from stroke towards people with Parkinson's disease, and still really within the field of gait, but with Parkinson's disease, and extending very much, pushing my thinking out towards the complexities of high-level gait and dual task and different aspects. So that was great, and that really took us up to beginning of '07, and since then I have still working with the RTRU, and then an opportunity came along to work with physio students, and here in Nelson, physio students from the University of Otago Physiotherapy School, and I looked at the way that was being done. We always did have students in the physio department, just 2 at a time, that were supervised from Christchurch, and those that went to Blenheim were supervised from Wellington. And Dave Baxter was keen to introduce this notion of clinical hubs or schools around the country, or around the South Island and into Wellington and Lower North Island. And we thought that Nelson, Wairoa, Nelson Blenheim would be great as a clinical school or hub. And so in last year, that was '08, we had our first year of setting up a clinical hub whereby students come, 6 or 7 students come to the area for the whole year, and I work with them on their different clinical and research rotations through placements at Nelson Hospital, Wairoa Hospital, and also in community settings, either in private practices or country hospitals such as Golden Bay and Motueka. And so that's been great. Again, I don't necessarily see myself as an educator, although I've taught on postgraduate program through the RTRU, but undergraduate education is something quite different, and I'm learning all the time, and working with the students on their placements. And so I have access once again to working with patients, which kind of keeps that strong physio link going, which I still love, the interaction with patients. I think it's just an honour to actually work with people and to hear some of their stories and to work with them in what is a vulnerable time in their life. And I treat every clinical encounter with great respect, I think, and try and bring dignity to that, and work with the physio students in that vein. So it is a really good experience for me. Again, it's full on. The students, I have great respect for them, and when I look at the students today coming out of Otago with what with my training over 30 years ago, I mean, there's absolutely no comparison. I think they are set up for the challenges ahead of them. Their skills, their ability to access information, their willingness to go the extra distance, their professionalism, their confidence, their intelligence. I think they are a really great bunch of young physios, and whichever direction I think our profession goes in, I think they'll be well equipped to meet the challenges. So that sort of brings me up to date. and I'll continue working with the students and with the RTRU, and at least now I have the same employer. I work for the University of Otago, and that is my sole employer, and that feels a little bit easier than splitting myself, as I've done for the past decade, between two organisations. But yeah, that pretty much brings me up to where I am.